From a simple piece of paper to the most powerful currency on the planet, the US dollar has ruled the global economy for centuries. But how did it look when it was first launched in 1792? And how has it transformed over the centuries into the masterpiece we hold in 2026? Let's explore the step-by-step evolution of the American dollar every 15 years. 1792, the birth of the US Dollar Coinage Act. On April 2nd, 1792, the United States Congress passed the Coinage Act, officially launching the US dollar. In the beginning, there were no paper banknotes. Instead, the US Mint started by producing silver and gold coins like dollars, half dollars, and dimes, laying the foundation for America's official monetary system. 1807, the early expansion and private bank notes. 15 years later, by 1807, the young American economy was growing rapidly. While official government coins were still circulating, the First Bank of the United States and various state-chartered private banks began issuing their own early paper notes. These notes were basic, handwritten, or stamped and could be redeemed for real silver or gold coins. 1822, the post-war stabilization era. Moving ahead another 15 years to 1822, following the economic shifts after the War of 1812, the Second Bank of the United States was operating at full force. During this era, paper money slowly started gaining more trust among citizens, though counterfeiting was a massive problem because every bank printed its own unique design. 1837, the panic and state banknote chaos. By 1837, the U.S. financial system faced a severe economic depression known as the Panic of 1837. President Andrew Jackson had shut down the central bank, leaving hundreds of local state banks to print their own wildcat paper notes. The dollar during this period had thousands of different designs, making it a very chaotic time for American currency. 1852, the Gold Rush influence script. Fast forward 15 years to 1852. The California Gold Rush was in full swing, injecting massive amounts of gold into the American economy. The U.S. government began issuing gold certificates, allowing people to trade paper notes that were directly backed by physical gold stored in the Treasury. 1867, the Civil War and the birth of Greenbacks. By 1867, right after the bloody American Civil War, the federal government took complete control of the money supply. To fund the war, they had printed paper money using distinctive green ink on the back to stop counterfeiters, giving birth to the iconic nickname Greenbacks that shaped the modern dollar format. 1882, the Silver Certificates era. Moving forward to 1882, economic debates shifted heavily toward silver. The U.S. Treasury officially introduced silver certificates, featuring detailed portraits of historical figures and blue seals. Citizens could walk into a bank and exchange these paper dollars directly for silver coins. 1897, the standardized national bank notes. By 1897, the U.S. currency system had become much more organized under the national banking system. Banknotes featured elaborate, artistic engravings of American history, presidents, and allegorical figures, making 19th century dollars look more like pieces of art than simple cash. 1912, the eve of the Federal Reserve. Fast forwarding 15 years to 1912, just before the biggest monetary revolution in U.S. history, the dollar was backed strictly by the gold standard. Large-sized notes known as horse blanket bills, because of their massive physical size, were standard in every American wallet. 1927, the transition to modern banking. By 1927, the Federal Reserve System was fully established and had centralized America's money. This was the final stretch before the government decided that large-sized notes were too expensive and bulky to print, setting the stage for a massive redesign. 1942, World War II emergency dollars. Moving 15 years ahead to 1942, during the height of World War II, the U.S. dollar played a crucial global role. Special emergency banknotes were printed with brown or yellow seals, and Hawaii overprinted dollars were used so that if the islands were invaded by Japan, those specific bills could be instantly declared worthless. 1957, the arrival of In God We Trust. By 1957, the Cold War era brought a major cultural change to the dollar. For the first time in history, the national motto In God We Trust was officially printed on paper currency, starting with the $1 silver certificate, becoming a permanent feature of American money. 1972, the post-gold standard era. Fast forward to 1972, just a year after President Richard Nixon completely severed the dollar's tie to gold. The dollar officially became a fiat currency, meaning its value came purely from the trust in the U.S. government, rather than physical gold or silver in a vault. 1987, the modern greenback designs. By 1987, the familiar green and black small-size banknotes featuring classic presidents like George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Benjamin Franklin were deeply embedded in the global economy, serving as the undisputed international reserve currency. We only had photos and records of the U.S. dollar's journey up until 19 1987. If we included the later banknotes and went all the way to modern times in this video, it would have become way too long. Therefore, if you want to see the notes beyond 1987 and want us to make a part 2, please let us know by leaving a comment below. If we get enough requests, we will definitely create part 2. Until then, make sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.